We're live.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Is it Friday yet?
It is. Happy Friday.
Has this been the longest week? Is it just me?
It's been the longest Friday in particular. Today has been.
Well, you've been in Jennifer Holiday hell all day. But first, I just want to thank Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for sending us some chocolate.
It was much needed today.
No golden tickets. No golden tickets. They're actually just Hershey bars, but they're really pretty. They're wrapped very pretty. So anyway, thank you for that. And oh my God, Max von Essen is here today. He's in multiple shows. And he's in the news. Anyway,
including one we might talk about.
I know you all love him. We're going to get to him because first we have to talk about Jennifer Holiday.
Yes, let's talk about Jennifer Holiday.
And we've revised our news story like 6 times.
Lots of updates, including one literally like 90 seconds ago.
Yeah. So what happened?
Okay. So Jennifer Holiday was announced in a press release by the Presidential Inauguration Committee. So like from the actual, people planning these events, that she was going to perform an event the day before the actual, swearing in.
Okay.
Called the Make America Great Again Welcome Celebration. So,
okay.
Yep. So it was announced that she was a part of that.
And everybody flipped out.
Yeah,
especially
lots of reactions
all
on
her
Twitter.
Broadway fans and all of our. Everyone's flipping
out. Of course,
out.
Especially after starting the color purple, then it didn't make a lot of sense. But her publicist, a couple hours after that announcement, came forward and said that she received the offer but had not yet accepted it, so it's not entirely confirmed.
Right.
And then just a couple minutes ago,
she called the New York Times.
Yes. So she spoke with the New York Times, and she said that she does indeed plan to, accept the offer and is doing it, and that it's not a political move, and that she wants to sing for the American people.
It's for the people. It's for the history. Did you
right.
say it's for the history?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I
think
Jennifer Holiday
her perform at the Lincoln Memorial.
So I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So get used to it, and let's move on.
Okay.
Let's talk about Broadway. Let's talk about people who are on Broadway.
So yeah, lots of casting news happening today. So Adam Jacobs, currently starring in Aladdin on Broadway, is going to take the role on tour. That begins in Chicago on April 11th.
Yeah. That's exciting.
And so in the meantime, they haven't announced who's going to take over on Broadway full time.
There's a lot of gossip about it.
So currently the
including maybe a name we're going to say in about a minute.
Right. Yeah. So Joshua De La Cruz, who's the understudy right now, is going to do it temporarily. And then there are some names that are going around that might.
What other news is happening? What's happening over at In Transit?
Completely unrelated. Talia Young is returning to In Transit.
Okay. He's been gone. He
took a quick leave of absence for personal reasons. So he's going back January 31st.
Okay. So did you get that?
No
Everybody got that news, right? So
is,
over at Aladdin, they're looking for an Aladdin. And then In Transit, Talia Young is coming back. What else is happening?
The full cast was announced for the Bandstand. That starts March 31st.
Is it the Bandstand?
I think just Bandstand, right? They changed it, right?
Come on, Ryan. We went back and forth on this. It's now Bandstand.
There you go.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I actually love Bandstand. I'm really excited to see it again. So, the full cast announced. You can read about it. Go ahead.
And initial casting for Sweat on Broadway was announced. So a lot of people from the off-Broadway run at the Public are returning to it. But
not one of your favorite people.
Yeah, so Joanna Day, Donald Ruggs, Michelle Wilson, they're all coming back.
Oh, my mom just said hi, and it's her birthday.
Oh, Mom, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lavon Wantoric. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry, back to Sweat.
So one person that was in the off-Broadway production has not been announced for Broadway. One Miss Miriam Shore.
Who you love. We all love her, but you're particularly obsessed with her.
So, she might be busy filming Younger, even though it films in New York. So we'll see about that,
Are you upset? Is this upset that you're going to lose sleep this weekend about this?
Probably.
Okay.
But you never know. They might announce it later.
She'll probably work it out.
Yeah.
Work it out, Miriam.
There's a new musical in the works from the Scottsboro Boys team. So Susan Stroman, John Kander, David Thompson.
Right.
They're working on a new musical called The Beast in the Jungle, which is based on a short story.
King Kong. No.
Different musical.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one's still not happening yet. But this one is about what?
So it's based on a short story, and it's about like a guy, and there's no jungles, first of all. It's a metaphor. He's like haunted by like these visions of like some like dark fate that approaches him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see how that works.
John Kander's busy.
Yeah.
He's like super busy. He's just cranking them out. I love it.
Some other stories happening. The Hamilton cast recording finally hit 1 million sales.
Wow.
So that's exciting.
So what else has hit that?
Yeah, there are 7 other musicals that have recordings that reached
Nick
that.
and Nora.
Yes, Song and Dance.
Grand Hotel. No. Which ones?
Phantom, Wicked, Jersey Boys, Rent, The Lion King, Dance of Vampires. Thank you, Max.
Dance of Vampires. Sadly, I have a demo, but I don't know. Sadly.
Mamma Mia, and 3 different versions of Les Mis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Including the symphonic, I'll bet.
Right.
People love that symphony. Okay, that's exciting. 1 million. More Hamilton news. More Hamilton.
Another
There's always
milestone.
Hamilton news.
So Andre Holland, who's currently on Broadway in Jitney and is in the movie Moonlight and is fantastic in that. So he's in talks to join that movie Widows, which we reported a little while ago. That's the one that Cynthia Erivo and Viola Davis are in together, playing widows of like bank robbers.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great cast, great team. Gillian Flynn is writing that. Steve McQueen's directing.
Okay.
So hopefully that comes through. So Christopher Fitzgerald, I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite movies. Beetlejuice
Tim Burton,
is being
classic.
adapted into
Yes.
being adapted into a musical. Alex Timbers is directing. They just had a reading not too long ago, and Christopher Fitzgerald started it.
That's good.
So yeah,
That seems like
that
good
seems like
casting.
appropriate
That seems
casting.
fun.
Yeah,
You
right.
into that?
I'm very into
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what happens with that.
So when is that opening? When can we see that?
Not soon enough.
Okay.
Idina Menzel singing Beaches. You can take a listen to that. In
There's an
today's odds and
EP.
ends. There's an EP that has the 2 songs that everyone knows. You know,
Glory of Love.
When
And what's the
Beneath
other
My
one?
Wings.
Oh, that one, right.
and then a couple of songs that are new to the movie.
Do we know anything about these songs? Have you heard them?
I listened to a couple of them.
Are
They're
they
kind of like
are they all
jazzy,
ballads?
bluesy, kind of.
Auto Tit Sling is not on the EP. It's one of my favorites, but didn't make it. Anyway, when is that on?
January 21st.
That's
So,
soon. Oh my
yeah.
god. Oh my god. It's
Your
like
life
it's
with
coming.
me.
It's here. It's really happening. All right, go ahead. People are flipping out about Beetlejuice, so you're not the only one. They're really excited.
Good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Lots of photos and videos up on the site. So Avenue Q celebrated 13 years and 3,000 performances at New World Stages. Beautiful had its 3-year anniversary. We have pictures from that. There's a character study video with Ali Ewalt, currently in Phantom, so you can see her getting ready and into the character of Christine.
Yeah.
And a MySpace video, so you can see Jeremy Kushner's dressing room at Paramore.
Awesome.
And
There's one
last bit
one
of
other
news.
big story.
So the cast is now set for the stage adaptation of Murder on the Orient Express.
That sounds
Yeah.
exciting.
So that's at the Mercator Theater in New Jersey.
Oh my god. Who'd they get for that? First of all, who wrote it? Anyone fancy? Ken Ludwig. That's fancy. That's super fancy. Who did the costumes? Anyone fancy? We might be long.
Wait, seriously?
Yes, it's all Broadway people. This is Broadway people down in Princeton.
This is
And who's in the
huge.
cast? Anyone excited?
So we have Alexander Silber, Vianne Cox.
Love her. We love her.
Julie Halston.
Oh my god. Wait, Alan Cordner. Am I saying that right? And then who else is in that?
This guy, Max von Essen.
Tony nominee. Max von Essen will be in that. But right now, he's off Broadway, and we're going to bring him in right now to talk about that. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Paul.
lovely
Bye,
weekend.
everyone.
Everybody, Mr. Max von Essen. The dashing Max von Essen. Oh, sorry.
Well, no, it's not a laugh track.
Sometimes I hit the wrong button. Is it a comedy you're in? Is it
Right
a
now?
comedy? Yeah.
Yes, it's an unromantic comedy. Some nights it isn't a comedy, but most nights it is.
And then, okay.
Once in
Hi.
a while, the audience. Hi.
How are you? Good to
I'm
see
great.
you.
Good to see you. Hi, everyone.
Thank you. You're in the news today.
Yeah, it's a good
In
day.
the news.
I'm so glad they announced today about the murder on
Yeah.
the Orient Express. Because you do something like an interview. I knew you were going to ask me, so what's next? And I'd be like,
Yeah, you can't talk about
you
it.
can't talk about it.
Actors
You
are
sound
never
like a
allowed to
total
talk about
fool.
things.
I know. Yeah. Well,
We
they're
worked it
serious about
out because you were going to be coming in.
So you made them release the
no.
news today. Thank you.
But I'm excited because that sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
But right now you're in a play. You are not
yeah.
singing.
I'm not singing.
When's the last time you sang a song?
When was the last time?
Yeah, in your life.
An American. Oh well, I mean,
Have
I
you sung
sing,
recently? Do you sing like in the shower?
I
or-
sing. Yeah, I sit down on my piano a couple of times
Do
a
you?
week. And, yeah,
Really?
yesterday on my Instagram story, I sang a song.
Oh, he's always singing.
I
Okay.
do. I can't stop. I love it. I miss it actually, but this has been such an amazing challenge. I even slipped in a little humming into the third act.
Oh.
After the 2 acts, just know it's not over. Please stay for the third act because I hum.
Your Broadway fans.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about this play. This is like a cool. So this is the Mint Theater.
Yeah, at the Mint Theater, which
Yeah.
currently performs at Theater Row and the Beckett Theater.
Yeah.
It's a play called Yours Unfaithfully, and it's really cool actually because it was written in the 30s. It was really
Right.
kind of ahead of its time, even though the topics of open marriage were very
Oh my
current. I know,
God!
it's
Wait
about-
a minute.
yeah,
How
it's-
could there be a play about open marriage
Yes.
written in the 30s?
Yeah, they were
People did
actually
that back
ahead of
then?
their time. We're way more like old school now, but like they were like this whole set of people and artists were living lives like this, and it's about having this discussion of like a real intellectual discussion on like if this is possible for a marriage, and they truly think it is, but then once they're confronted with it and they each have the opportunity to have experiences, they realize it's not as easy as they think, and it's not all about this, and the jealousies and things come into play. But with that topic, they still manage to laugh at it and enjoy it. So they're calling it an unromantic comedy.
And who do you play in this
I
crazy mix?
play Stephen Meredith, who's part of the couple. It's a real ensemble piece with 5 people, but it centers around the couple, and
Yes.
I'm the husband in that couple.
And
We're
you're in
trying
the
to
open
figure out-
marriage,
and I'm in
you
the-
guys think it's all going to work out.
Yeah, I absolutely think it's going great for me.
Wow.
And then without realizing that my wife, it's not going as great for her. So when I realize that she's suffering, then the whole thing kind of falls apart, because once you realize your partner is really hurting,
Right.
it's hard to have fun.
Right.
So then we try to figure that out. It's cool.
No
But it was
more
written in the 30s, but it was never done. It was kind of
Right.
lost. It was published. So in this
Crazy.
weird way, I'm doing this world premiere, originating this role, yet of this guy in the 30s in this play that has existed for 80 something years. I'm not a math major.
And of course, every Max von Essen production has to have amazing like costumes, and I've seen. The
Oh yeah,
photos.
well I
They
only
look
do
very-
like period things. Jill
Yeah.
Pace and I always joke that we don't play anyone modern or poor. I don't know what it is about us. We're always in like great costumes, 1920s, 30s.
Yeah,
We've done
it's
like 4 or
nice.
5 things together. We're like, why? What is it about us that we just can't play current?
And you always look very nice, like off stage too. You're just always like pulled together.
Oh well, I'm
Very
trying.
pulled together. Peyton wants to know,
Yeah.
what is your favorite thing about the 1930s?
Oh, well, honestly, we were just talking about it. The styles, there's something about kind of like jumping into that, just visually allowing, when you work with someone like Bob Crowley, or I'm about to work with William Ivy Long,
Yeah.
or Hunter, who did our show down at the Mint. It's so cool to like step into these other periods, and it's like the final, you're rehearsing, and it's all going great. You're doing all your research, but once they put you in all that, then suddenly,
It all comes together.
yeah, and that's my favorite part.
What is your dream role, Abigail? Is dying to know.
Oh, my dream role. Well, I'm kind of on this kick of doing new shows, and like originating roles, which is like such a dream. It's been amazing to do that recently. But I'm a huge fan of like a lot of the Sondheim shows. I would love to do Bobby and Company. I'm obsessed with Kiss the Spider Woman. I want to do that. It's somewhere, someplace, someday, somehow.
Who do you want to play?
I want to play Molina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you could play either.
Yeah.
You can play either of the guys.
You got to just make a choice.
Maybe that could be like a really bold.
Yeah,
production
like
where you
who did
play
True
both.
West years ago where they switched off?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
let's put it out there. I'm going to
There
do
was
it with
a certain upstart named Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Never heard of him.
that guy. So yeah, you could do that. You could totally.
Actually, would be
Yeah,
really
and
cool,
maybe
actually.
Aurora one day. What the hell? For people who saw you in Chicago, maybe, right?
Ah, yes.
You've done
if,
that.
if
You've
they've
gone
been
down
around
that
a lot.
path.
I did it. Yeah.
He's done it all, this guy.
I've done it all.
What was your favorite thing about American in Paris? And obviously, you were Tony nominated. I mean, what's not to like about?
Well, I mean, that
American in Paris?
that was truly the icing on the cake. That when I originally auditioned for it, first Gershwin was like, I was obsessed with Gershwin as a kid. I loved the American in Paris film. But when it was initially just being cast, they were doing a workshop and then they were doing a production in Paris.
Right.
And I just thought, oh my God, how incredible would that be? So I really was just going for it.
You just went for the trip to Paris?
Well, sort of.
Kind
I mean,
of.
to do that, but I had no idea. You know, when they announce a show is going to Paris, the next thing isn't then Broadway. Like honestly, I mean, maybe I'm sounding naive or like looking back, but it was not on the radar for me at all. And then when it all fell into place on Broadway, and then the success of it and the Tony nomination, it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was just the best experience of my career.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I'm doing the vlog. That was fun too.
Of course, my favorite thing about it was doing the Broadway.com
Favorite
vlog.
thing about it.
It was not Robbie Fairchild's favorite thing. Every time I pulled out the camera, he's like, I was like, come on, Robbie, stay in.
Well, I loved that you guys opened in Paris too because I got to go too.
Oh, it was so
That's
awesome.
the fun part.
It was
Yeah,
awesome. We
I-
lived there for 2 months. I mean, not we.
Yeah.
Me,
You were there.
Me and the cast. lived there.
Beth wants to know, are you excited to reunite with Vianne Cox in Murder on the Orient Express? Do you have any wacky Vianne stories? Vianne is hilarious.
Vianne is crazy. Vianne is ridiculously talented. Vianne is an amazing energy.
And one of the best parts of, what's it called? What's that Julia Roberts tits movie? Where she's trying to get the money for the people with the water. What?
What? I don't know.
Julia
actually.
Roberts, what'd she win her Oscar for?
Erin Brockovich?
Erin Brockovich.
Really? Oh, I didn't.
Julia Cox is the best part of Erin Brockovich.
Of course. Well,
I'm sorry.
she's brilliant.
I didn't mean to say the T word.
She also turned Madame Burrell, which is my mom in American in Paris.
Yes.
I mean, it was. I was almost going to say something negative about like the script, but there wasn't that. It was a small role that it wasn't what she did wasn't on the page, and that's a sign of a brilliant actress. Craig Lucas wrote something perfect and effective for the show, and then she looked at it and just went and created this thing, and I felt like we were like this like comic duo.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to work with her again, and I'm excited it's in a different capacity. Because it's a murder on the. I mean, we were opposite each other basically all the time in American Paris, his mother and son. But now we're like each like an equal cog in this ensemble piece.
Yeah.
The Murder on the Orient Express really is, except for the investigator Poirot.
Yes.
Everyone is like there's the whodunit of who
Yeah.
all's involved, and it'll just be fun to work on a completely different piece with her.
Who did it? We'll find out. Well, it doesn't change
I
every
think
night.
you
It's
know.
scripted.
Yeah,
It's scripted,
I
correct.
think you could watch the movie and find out, but I haven't watched the movie or read the book. But I will before I start rehearsals, because that's what you do, young actors out there.
Chelsea
You do research.
Hazelhurst, great name, Chelsea Hazelhurst.
Chelsea.
Wants to know, what was the first Broadway show you ever saw?
Oh, Dreamgirls.
Oh my God.
Speaking of. But I saw Lilius
You
White.
didn't- Okay, yes.
I didn't get to see Jennifer Holliday. Although I sometimes remember it, like I used to tell people years ago that I saw her, then I found my old playbill. I was like, that was Lilius White. But you know, I was
when
like
you watch that
7th
Tony clip
grade or
enough
something.
times, you feel like you saw it, right?
You really do feel
Yeah.
like you've seen it. Wonder what how's Jennifer doing?
Elise wants to know, what was it like working with Ricky Martin?
Oh,
You were in Evita.
I was in Evita.
And you played Magaldi.
Played Magaldi,
But you
and
went
then
on.
I also covered
you did cover
Che,
Ricky.
and covered Ricky, and on many times for him.
And then
It
you got to
was
sit in his dressing room,
amazing.
or did you stay in your dressing room?
No,
when
we
you
used
went
his
on?
dressing room. Yeah, it
You
was
went.
great.
It's
yeah,
fun.
the
That's the
pictures
fun
of his
part,
kids
right?
around. It was
Yeah.
fancy. You
You
know,
feel
it's
like-
like really chic flowers and orchids
sure.
around. You know,
I'm sure
it's
it
like
was beautiful.
humidifiers blowing with like scents and like oils. It was amazing. It was great. It always felt really fancy when I have my guests back there. But no, I loved it. He was. It's like sometimes you work with people. You have to like figure out a nice thing to say.
Right.
But Ricky Martin, he is a dream. I mean, he was absolute dream. We still stay in touch, and he's doing very well, and I think he's going to do all right.
He's going to do all right.
Ever since Broadway his career really taking off.
He's fine. I saw some pictures of him on a beach recently. He seemed like he was doing
Yeah,
fine.
it seems like he's doing great.
He's doing fine. Doreen wants to know, did you ever have a cell phone ring during a performance? I mean, everyone has.
Doreen, have you met me? Have you seen my Twitter feed?
Right,
yeah, and cell phones actually don't even bother me as much as filming, because you know everyone. I've had once in my life. I was seeing Stephanie J. Block at Birdland, and my phone went off, and I was horrified. But she was belting some note, no one heard it. But I grabbed it and instantly turned it off, because everyone in their lifetime has that moment where like it really does happen, and as long as you're like horrified and you grab it super quick and it's just over, because it's the natural things, or a coughing attack that I feel like are very easy in theater to get by. I was noticing that because I'm it's off Broadway. We play the theater small. Anything anyone does, you can see it. But natural things, like you forgive it. But when people deliberately take things out or film it, it's just you didn't ask what drives me crazy, but I'm just telling you that's what like drives me crazy.
It's obnoxious.
Yeah.
When everybody
people
just films-
like, if your phone rings and you answer it, like that's a problem.
I've seen that. I've seen like full conversations.
Yeah, people. It's a shame we're losing it.
It's ridiculous. So what's it like being in the small theater? Do you like being so close to the audience? And
It's cool. I'm getting used to it now.
Yeah.
The good thing, because this is my first play in New York ever, and each thing has been a real challenge and a real fear to overcome for me, even from like first day of rehearsal, meeting the other actors, saying the words out loud in front of other people, doing a monologue. Really, each thing was like a new terrifying act for me. And then but luckily we had time in the theater, and then the director would be in the house, the designers, and then we had invited a couple of people. So like each day it was like one layer added, so that by the time the audience got there, because they are right there, 2 feet, and the front row was there.
Yeah.
But now I actually really, and in the beginning I would sort of look,
Is it hard to not look at them?
above them,
Yeah,
or
that's what I
look to
was
the
wondering.
side, and I was like, oh, where's my focus? And now I look just sort of right in between them, or so that I go wherever I need to go. And now I actually really like how small and intimate it is, and that they're right there. It's kind of amazing, because it's this romantic comedy. It's taking place in someone's living room, and they are in, we say join us like you're in our living room, but you're literally in it. I mean, it's that small and intimate, and I love it. I love it now.
With the open marriage, I mean, you guys just look into the audience and open up your marriage with. I mean, they're right there. They're right in your living room.
Well, it
with
is
you.
pretty great to see because some people kind of respond that, oh, but she's lying. She's lying. Why did he do that? What did he do? Because some people are like totally on board to like opening their minds to it, then other people or the older generations generally are like having trouble kind of
It's still
really
a very scandalous
fascinating.
concept.
Yeah,
like a lot of people.
But
are
we
just
really deal with it like from an intellectual perspective. They really talk through like, why can't this happen? Why are we going to deny this of each other? And can't we control this jealousy? So it's dealt with like as academics. They're both two very smart people, and so it's really been a challenge for me, a real stretch getting into the minds of these people. But it's fascinating to watch it like that.
And the playwright's no longer with us.
The playwright is no longer.
He died like in the 60s, and
I think so. Yeah, Miles Mallison, who was actually a pretty well-known actor at the time, but also an accomplished playwright.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. I got to come check out your show.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
it's
come
running
check out this
through
show through February 18th at the
Okay.
Mint Theater on Theater Row. And then next I go to the McCarter
And that starts
for,
in
you'll come
March.
see that too, Murder
March
on the
14th.
Orient Express.
So yeah, you don't really have a break.
Yeah.
You're going right into
No,
it.
in fact I overlap. I rehearse in Princeton, then I come back here and do the performances.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it. These are exciting projects.
I know, it's
and
awesome.
you're booked. You're booked for a
Yeah,
while.
2 plays.
Yeah, how about that? Look at
I'm an
that.
actor.
See what happens when you get a Tony nomination?
Oh, God. Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you so much, Max. Good
Thanks.
to see you.
Thanks, guys.
We will be off on Monday, honoring Martin Luther King, but we'll be back on Tuesday live at 5. Bye, guys.